Ever wonder why once you get started on a pack of chips, you can never stop eating until the whole bag is finished? Can it be that it just tastes that good and you lost all self-control? But did you ever stop to think about it might be the ingredients and additives that are purposely placed in the food that were meant to keep you hungry and wanting more? Now that is some food for thought. Some of these ingredients can manipulate your brain to wanting more and making it hard for you to resist the temptation. The craving simply doesn't stop after your meal, and you find yourself hungry soon after and want to eat even more. This can cause you to overeat, which can lead to various health issues such as obesity, diabetes, and hypertension. The food industry doesn't have your best interest in mind. They want you to keep eating and coming back for more so they can profit off of you. In this video, we will cover ingredients and additives that are placed in your foods that are meant to purposely keep you coming back for more. Okay, let's get right into it. Number 1, refined flour. According to Harvard nutritionist, refined flour is one of those toxic ingredients that hijack the brain to make us believe we either need or want more food. So what is refined flour? Examples of refined flours are the ones used for white bread, pasta, and white rice, and is an ingredient in many packaged processed foods such as frozen pizza, cereal, and crackers. As per WebMD, refined flours are highly processed and have their germ and bran removed, which is a key source of healthy fiber and nutrients that you'll find in whole grains. This leaves refined flour with a high amount of starch with little to no nutritional value and a whole bunch of calories. But that's not all. Refined flour is not meant to keep you full for a long period of time, which can lead to hunger and overeating. It may also cause digestion issues and prevent the body from burning fat for fuel. The excessive carbohydrates will increase insulin levels that may lead to weight gain and obesity. Furthermore, the spike in blood sugar can also cause diabetes and heart disease. I think I will stick with whole grains and non-processed flours instead.
Hey, think you'll make the Celtics?
Sure, I have 15 seasons to practice and eat right.
That's wonder. Why not eat whole wheat?
Ask Ma.
With Wonder, good nutrition doesn't have to be whole wheat. Whole wheat does have more of some nutrients and fiber, but compare government figures on whole wheat with Wonder's label. For these important nutrients, Wonder has as much as whole wheat. And he loves Wonder, so I know he'll eat it. With Wonder and a balanced diet, good nutrition doesn't have to be whole wheat.
Number 2, high fructose corn syrup. Easily one of the worst ones on this list. We covered high fructose corn syrup numerous times on our channel before. And besides being an extremely unhealthy additive, did you know that it can cause you to overeat? This article by the Scientific American explains that according to studies, fructose has effects on the region of the brain that controls our appetite. In terms of promoting overeating, it is a leading culprit of the obesity epidemic in the US. To dig even further, this detailed article published by the National Library of Medicine, which happens to be a website of the US government, concluded that fructose intake affects appetite through increasing ghrelin serum levels. It also leads to brain insulin resistance and can affect learning and memory, which explains why the body feels like it's crashing after eating heavy sweet foods such as processed donuts, for example. According to the Cleveland Clinic, fructose is cheaper than sugar and absorbed by the body a lot quicker and may cause diabetes, hypertension, and obesity.
Fructose corn syrup has crept into our food supply over the last few decades. Now, compared to regular sugar, it's cheaper, it's sweeter, and it's absorbed much more quickly by the body. Fructose was initially thought to be a better choice for diabetics due to its low glycemic index. However, high fructose corn syrup and high fructose in the diet leads to insulin resistance, to obesity, to type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure.
It is suggested to consume natural, unprocessed foods or check the labels to avoid ingredients with high fructose syrup, corn syrup, and the many other names it disguises itself as.
Obesity researchers believe Carrie's sweet tooth could actually be more like substance abuse. Dr. Joe McLernon at Duke University studies the brains of smokers or drug addicts, and his studies show that for many obese people, junk food can trigger the same response.
You can see activation in both cases in a region called the striatum. It's the part of your brain that tells you whether something is something you want to go after or if it's something that you want to avoid. but it's also the part of the brain that's involved in learning habit.
Number 3, MSG, is one of those toxic food additives that may cause the brain to encourage the body to overeat. MSG antagonizes the pancreas to release more insulin, which is a hormonal cascade that makes you feel hungrier. MSG can be found in processed foods such as cup noodles, instant ramen, frozen meals, condiments, ham, cookies, cheese, deli meats, potato chips, and more. Takeout Chinese food is known for using MSG, and according to this article by the Men's Health, researchers at the University of Sussex, based out of the UK, found that those who consumed MSG were initially less hungry after their meal, but their appetite came back in just an hour later. While the exact reason is unclear, it is speculated that MSG tastes so good in food that it makes the brain crave more quickly after you're done eating it.
Extract sodium chloride, monosodium glutamate.
Well, you give this to your kids. They advertise it for children.
Your diet could be your brain's biggest enemy. Why? Consider this. Could the yogurt Granny eats send her prematurely into Alzheimer's? Could your baby's diet be putting the child on a path toward attention deficit disorder? Or could your daily soup slam you with migraines? Dr. Russell Blaylock says all those outcomes are possible because of the flavor enhancer known as MSG. All of those afflictions happen to lab animals that consume monosodium glutamate, and humans are much more sensitive, especially when consuming it over a lifetime.
Number 4, gluten. Gluten is a protein that's found in wheat, rye, oats, and barley, and is present in processed foods such as pasta, pizza, bread, bagels, cereals, cookies, muffins, and more. Gluten is often used to add elasticity to the dough, given the chewy, fluffy texture you will find consistent in bread, for instance. Now, how does gluten cause you to be hungrier? Well, according to this article by weightandwellness.com, gluten can trigger the blood sugar to rise quickly, causing overeating. The quick rise in blood sugar might also drop dramatically, which turns to leads to constant craving and possible addiction to foods that contain gluten.
It's addictive. It's plain and simple. There's something in modern wheat called gliadin that was changed by the efforts of geneticists to change the properties of this plant, mostly to increase yield. But they also changed the properties on the people who consume this stuff. And the unintended effect, I don't think it was intentional, is that it increases appetite. So you can't help yourself. You have one bagel, you want more. And it increases your appetite for junk, not for salmon and asparagus, but for junk. So people can't help themselves. Like, they have incessant hunger, 400 to 800 calories more every day, 365 days a year.
Maybe that's why when you walk into a pizzeria telling yourself you will have only one slice, but then walk out after eating half a pie. This is the part that gets even more interesting. Referring again to the article, for certain people, gluten is almost like a drug, causing neurological effects. Dr. William Davis states that the digestion of gluten can create morphine-like compounds that may potentially create appetite stimulation, euphoria, and addictive behavior. He covered more of this on his book, Wheat Belly, so check it out if you'd like to learn more. The link is in the description box. Number 5, artificial sweeteners. It's no secret by now, if you watch the other videos on our channel, that artificial sweeteners are not the healthiest options. But did you know that consuming foods and drinks with artificial sweeteners can cause you to even be hungrier?
It adds 0 calories to your drink, but it may add pounds to your body. A new report finds that no-calorie artificial sweeteners actually cause you to gain weight instead of helping you slim down.
According to a study conducted by the University of Australia, it was found that animals being constantly exposed to artificial sweeteners were found to eat more despite already consuming enough calories. The brain was integrated with sweet sensations with energy content, and when that was out of balance for some time, the brain would adjust and increase total calories consumed. In other words, with more consumption of the artificial sweetener, the sweet intensity with the animal's brain increases, which stimulates the appetite by making it seem like the animal hasn't eaten enough energy, which encourages more eating. Read the entire article, as there's very interesting information on how and why artificial sweeteners can cause us to overeat.
University of Sydney, new research on fruit flies and mice is suggesting that the sweetener sucralose may be fueling rather than fighting weight gain.
So if your stomach empties more rapidly because you don't release as much GLP-1, that may lead you to overeat.
It is important to note here that these specific effects have only been shown in animals. Humans, however, were the subjects of a 2013 study published in the medical journal Diabetes Care, which found that sucralose could affect the way our body responds to sugar in other food we are eating.
whilst the sweeteners themselves might not have a direct metabolic effect on you, it could be that they influence how you metabolize the foods you consume with them.
Number 6, alcohol. While technically not a food, it is still something that is consumed. Ever have that feeling after having a few drinks where you feel like you're in the mood for some greasy, heavy food? I'm talking about the sudden crave to get pizza, burgers, or fried foods. Now, according to research conducted at the Pennsylvania State University College of Medicine, alcohol consumption may stimulate nerves in the brain's hypothalamus that can raise the appetite. These neurons are triggered to cause an intense hunger sensation, which leads to uncontrollable cravings. Pizza and beer, anyone?
That alcohol is a disaster. It has several factors. Number one is it's got a lot of calories, especially if you're having a margarita or you're having eggnog. All of those are 300 or 400 calories. Secondly, alcohol impairs your ability to sort of withhold yourself from food. It stimulates your appetite, and also if you're drinking, you don't really care whether you're taking in a lot of calories. Third, stay away from things that are fried or things that are wrapped in bacon or have a lot of cheese on it. All of those things will increase the amount of calories.
Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video, and we hope the value we have provided has been worth your time. Sometimes it takes stepping out and looking at things from an outside perspective to realize why especially us Americans tend to eat more than what is needed. That's because the ingredients and additive placed in our very food is designed to make us overeat. The more you eat, the more you will buy. The more we buy, the more profits is made. Share this video with someone else you want to have this knowledge, and like and subscribe to the video. Until then, stay informed and Genius Tomato out.